And do you ever get it into your eyes? Because it burns.
That's... We're really going to leap off with the semen joke?
Was that a trick
It didn't
reference?
need to be.
It was a trick
reference.
yeah.
I haven't watched that movie in ages.
I'm afraid to ask this. Calvin, how old were you when the movie Trick came out?
What month did it come out?
Oh my god. I don't know. I watched it
either 3 or 4.
Anyway, so that was nice. Show over.
Show over.
How your age
Canceled.
impacts you. I just acknowledge that it means that I'm high level, but you're like, now I am less of a person because I have lived longer.
No, it's just it just blows my mind how there's this thing that I loved when I was in college, and people are like, I was born that year, and it's like, what?
Yeah. So I actually had. So I may have mentioned this before. That I like a K-pop band, just the one. I'm a Stray Kids fan. Because they got the one dude that's got a really deep voice, and I'm a slut for that shit. But they have a song. Now, I don't understand most of what they're saying because I do not speak Korean, and I recognize that that's a flaw. But one of the songs is called 143, and they keep saying 143 over and over, and I'm like, what the hell does 143 mean? I don't even understand that reference. So I Googled it, and I had it very condescendingly explained to me by the internet that back in the day when people had pagers, and they wanted to send a message that they love you to someone, they would say 143 because it's the number of letters in each word. I is 1, love is 4, and you is 3. I had a pager. Nobody fucking did that. Like, no. Internet.
I was there.
I was in the only 3-digit number that you would send either 666 or 911, and it was never actually an emergency if you sent 911. That just meant call me right now because I'm impatient. That's all that meant. But 143, that's fucking clever, and nobody in my sphere had that kind of cleverness when they were paging.
All your goth friends.
That's what the 666 happened.
Do you remember when this happened to me because you kids have smartphones now? I remember getting in trouble from my boyfriend in high school if I didn't return his page in a certain amount of time.
Mm-hmm. You get the increasingly frantic pages.
Yeah.
Like more 9s, more 1s, more 9s and 1s. Yeah.
And I was like, I'm literally in the middle of hanging out with my mom. I can't find a payphone right now to call you because, again, no cell phones. Jeez.
Oh, fucking Stone Age.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say this was not my life. This was not my experience.
Yeah, the first
Good for
phone
you.
I had
Like
was
We
a
also
Nokia
shoved
bricks.
our feet through the floorboards of our cars to get a good pedal start. So.
yeah.
The Flintstones reference. I don't
Yeah.
know if you guys have watched.
No, I do know that.
Okay, thank you.
I do know that.
Like, I've seen it on TV Land.
That was on Adult Swim that one time. Yeah, actually it was.
Oh gosh, remember needing to stand next to the phone because it was wired to the wall? Yeah, because cordless phones didn't work that well back in the day. And cordless phones were dangerous because you wouldn't know if your parents were going to pick up the other phone
On
in the
the
other
other
room
line,
and listen
yeah.
to you.
But cordless phones were fun because if you lived in an apartment building and somebody else, like your neighbor, had a cordless phone, sometimes you'd pick up their signal.
Oh, that's awesome. That's
And
hilarious.
you could listen. Yeah.
Good times. Good times.
Yes.
See how we started off with a semen joke right into something wholesome. So how about that?
Yeah.
All right. Steph, are you ready to get the show on the road?
All right, I do that, don't I?
Well, I have a thing first, but...
Okay.
Okay, are y'all ready too?
Look, I'm as ready as I'm going to get. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I'm good.
There is nothing else I could do to prepare for this.
And that's the correct... yeah, that's it. That's it. All right, we'll get rolling. Hold up. The old song. I do miss it sometimes.
Somebody in the comments said, "This is the best thing to watch while I get high." 100%.
I approve of this. Somebody in our Patreon, our Discord said, I can't make it tonight because I'm getting late. I'm like, fuck it, do it. Go.
Yeah, priorities.
Yeah. We approve. Yeah. Well, hey everybody, we're here. We're talking about Clone Wars because don't you remember when we were a Clone Wars show? We were primarily just talking nothing but Clone Wars. That's what we're doing today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. And we got guests. Steph, do you want to kick off the formal intro? Since that's what you do.
I think you just already did that, though.
I'm introducing the topic. You do the intro. This is going well. This is going so well.
We are professionals.
We are professionals.
Okay, shut up. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to The Divas Unleashed, the visual media version of our audio podcast, Dark Side Divas. My name is Stephanie. I am the she-her half of the Divas team.
Woo!
And clever quip here.
Oh, God, I give up. Hey, everybody. I am that Chris, Asajj Ventress, homosexual. And I am, and you still look like my daddy.
You look like my daddy.
And we're joined by some super awesome guests. I'm super excited. Calvin, you want to go first?
Yeah, hello there. I am Calvin. I have seen a lot of Star Wars.
Hi, my name's Andy. I use they, them pronouns, and I've seen a lot of Star Wars. And also, Calvin usually, when we start the podcast, the way we get into it is he sings to us, and I'm a little disappointed he didn't sing to us to,
we
get
can fix
in.
that right now.
He sings the intro, and I really think he should sing.
Okay.
Let's start over. Let's pretend we didn't introduce ourselves.
Okay, I'm there.
Go back,
I'm
go back.
ready.
Take one.
We'll go back.
I normally cut that bit out, so.
But I love it. It helps me.
Hello there.
Yeah.
Welcome to. Oh shit, that was robot. Hi, I'm Calvin. I have seen a lot of Star Wars.
Yes, thank you.
Hey.
Yes, I'm Andy. I've seen enough Star Wars to please your mom.
There you go.
I'm trying to switch it up.
Nice.
I haven't found one that sticks.
At least you had something.
Yeah.
I showed up with nothing.
That's okay.
I showed up with lipstick.
No comment. Calvin, Andy, we're going to have one more person hopefully join us later. They're from the First Steps podcast, which is legit one of my favorite podcasts to listen to. When I say other Star Wars podcasts I like, they're generally one of the first podcasts I think of. Certainly not Gold Squadron Gays.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
No.
I'm kidding.
We love them over there.
We do love Bradley. Anyway, so...
That's how Chris shows his love.
Only.
Very aggressive affection.
But y'all, we're here to talk about Clone Wars. Steph and I actually was 2 years on Clone Wars because just like y'all, we went through everything episode by episode. And I kind of miss it because we just started Rebels. I know y'all are in there. But Clone Wars was like this safety blanket for a very long time, and it never felt like it was going to be over. And then all of a sudden it was, and I lost myself for a little bit. So I'm so glad we get a chance to talk about Clone Wars with y'all.
I miss Clone Wars.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. So because the podcast is watching Star Wars chronologically from the eyes of a newcomer, I feel like my experience with Clone Wars was very different because a lot of people saw Clone Wars with the context.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And I kind of saw it with no context, but honestly, our podcast would not exist if Clone Wars wasn't the first thing that we saw, because I just loved it so much that I was I'm in it for the long haul.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Clone Wars was the first piece of Star Wars that my kids paid any attention to.
Yeah.
And so that's what hooked them. And that's every generation has some piece of Star Wars that'll grab a hold of your soul and drag you into it. And I'm so glad that Clone Wars was that for you, because God, Clone Wars. Just love it.
Yeah. Even with that shitty animation in those first few seasons.
Getting through those seasons is a labor of love.
Yeah, it's like a rite of passage. You gotta stick with it to show you can handle it.
Ash says Clone Wars is the best Star Wars. Hard to argue because Star Wars has so much good stuff and some interesting stuff. So real quick, stats on Clone Wars. It premiered on Cartoon Network. Remember that channel? Is it still a thing? I don't remember anymore.
I don't think so.
It debuted October 3rd, 2008. Of course, there was a movie that got released a couple months before that. It has 133 total episodes. It took a little bit of a break after the 5th season. Season 6 ended up on Netflix a couple years later. And then, of course, when it was Lucasfilm was acquired by Disney, Disney opted to finish Clone Wars Season 7, which is personally my favorite season. But there's still a lot of awesome Clone Wars. So what do y'all, what do y'all miss about Clone Wars the most?
What do I miss about it?
Yeah,
That's like
Andy,
not.
You go first.
So my thing is like the recent thing that we've been watching is Bad Batch. So for me, I'm kind of getting my fix of Clone Wars, except for if I were to compare the two shows, Clone Wars, there's so much of it that they can really like take their time even with shitty arcs. And I kind of love it because in Bad Batch, like, things have to happen and they're on a timeline because they only have like so many episodes in a season. But like Clone Wars, they had all the fucking time in the world. So I don't know, you really got to explore things and see all of these different places. I love meeting all of these different people and going to different planets. So I don't know, I think that's the like exploratory aspect of Clone Wars is what I miss.
Aw.
Yeah.
What about the other two?
I mean, for me, it definitely is the thing, because what really pulls me into a story is just like world building and lore. Excuse me. And so like just a lot of deepness that Clone Wars actually gives Star Wars is what brought me into Star Wars itself rather than just the movies. Because the movies are fine. The movies are great. I love the movies. But, you know, I didn't become a Star Wars person until Clone Wars. So just learning more about like Obi-Wan and
Anakin.
And the lore of the Force and the Jedi is just so cool to me.
I wouldn't like Anakin without the Clone Wars. I wouldn't find him interesting if it weren't for the Clone Wars.
100%. Yeah. No, the Clone Wars provided crucial context.
Yeah.
Honestly, I miss the villains from Clone Wars. As much as I love the clones, and I will always love the clones, but I don't miss them yet because they're still in my life.
Yes. Yeah.
I miss Dooku. I miss the hell out of Ventress. Where are my sexy bad bitches? I'm feeling a lack of sexy bad bitches in current Star Wars, but that's just my personal preference. No shade to current Star Wars, but I miss the villains, and they needed a rogues gallery for Clone Wars because it was so fucking galactic.
Yes,
scale.
yeah.
It was covering so much territory. You couldn't have just a bad guy. It couldn't be just a Vader, like you can in the movies, because you're just following the one protagonist.
So many sexy bounty hunters. Bring them back.
Dude, the bounty hunters.
Oh my god. I mean, Cad Bane, Embo, what was that guy's name that made the box? He was so funny.
Moralo Evol.
Moralo Evol. He was so funny. And yeah, Lord Count Dooku. Lockdurd. Yeah, thanks, Charles. It was funny when Steph and I started talking about Revenge of the Sith and we were talking about Padme. I was like, wow, I miss Clone Wars Padme a lot. She had a personality, and she was.
She had agency. And
and
insults to rub together.
Yeah. So I started missing Clone Wars right then, and so I think you all said it perfectly. I miss a show that took its time exploring characters, having weird ass adventures. With some exceptions, like stuff like the Mortis arc and all that kind of stuff. I miss having those kinds of moments.
I love that Clone Wars could take the time to really stretch its legs into crazy ass Force lore with Mortis and with Yoda's fucking trip, his
pilgrimage
space.
Yes.
Yeah. That was really cool. That was something that, you know, the short form storytelling in the movies couldn't do, or they tried to do, but they had to be like really clever with the visual imagery, and so it didn't really happen. Like, it took me forever to understand about Luke's. Never mind.
It's hard. It's
I
hard,
know.
isn't it?
I know.
It's hard.
Welcome to their world.
Yeah.
It's not my world.
For context, for people who don't know, First Steps. Andy, you haven't seen anything except up to where you've watched, right? Like a Star Wars blank slate.
So yeah, the idea behind the podcast is that I am watching all of Star Wars chronologically with no context, because I had never seen any Star Wars, and except for like the major thing of like, no, I am your father, which is like so culturally like obviously, except for that one spoiler, I don't really know anything. I have
They
some,
spoiled
like,
that for you? Crazy.
Yeah,
I'm
crazy.
kidding.
American culture spoiled that for you?
I know, right?
Bizarre.
Yeah, like, I don't really know. I've met Chewbacca and I've met Han Solo, and those out of like the main people who, I guess I have met Luke and Leia, but like
You've met Leia.
Leia, baby
Like,
Leia.
really deeply,
Yeah,
and,
little
like,
baby
Luke,
Leia.
I know,
somewhat.
baby Leia.
She's just like that, only a little bit taller.
Yeah. Yeah, but
Only
yeah.
a little bit taller.
A little bit taller, because Carrie Fisher in real life was short. So short.
Real quick,
Yeah.
Cartoon Network is alive and well. We're stupid.
Really?
Yeah, like
Okay. But like,
it's got Teen Titans Go and that little bear show and Steven Universe and stuff, and I could play all the games and stuff. Right? We Bear Bears.
Oh, and
Where-
my friend is informing me they're also doing another season of Metalocalypse. That's like 20 years ago, isn't it? With Death Clock?
Really?
Yeah. That's crazy.
That's amazing. Yeah, no, Cartoon Network is just fine. We're just dumb.
I don't smoke that much weed anymore, therefore I do not watch a lot of Cartoon Network.
yeah, that's
Right.
super fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, hard question. What are your favorite story arcs in Clone Wars?
Well, I mean, for me, like, I kind of went into it before. Like, I mean, shit, like you mentioned, like the Mortis and the Yoda arc, like the stuff that deepens my understanding of the Force itself is really fucking cool. This is why I love the High Republic, because I just get so much information that I can store into the boxes. So yeah, it's those ones. And also, I was thinking about this, like, one that I really like that a lot of people don't, or at least are indifferent on, is the Morello of all the box arc, where Obi-Wan goes into disguise.
I love it.
It's
I
just, it's
love
fun.
it.
It's fun. It's just fun.
That's where Steph almost killed me when we talked about that arc.
Really?
Yeah.
That was the time? What did I almost kill you for?
We were making a lot of really inappropriate box jokes, and I couldn't breathe.
Well, I like that arc because it hits on all the levels, right? Because nobody is cooler in Star Wars than a bounty hunter, right?
No.
And
Agreed.
you got all of them being just as cool as they can be in a box. But also, one of them is Obi-Wan.
Yeah, yes.
And Obi-Wan being just badass. I just because he's my favorite.
Yeah.
Like, I love Rex and all, but Obi-Wan's my OG favorite.
Oh man, and that's the kind of shit that Clone Wars could do. Like, they'd be like, let's pretend to kill Obi-Wan. Fuck it. Like, oh,
This
Bad
is a
Batch
terrible
could
thing
never.
to do.
Oh, I miss
Do
it.
it.
Like, do you guys remember the Lemur episode? The Lemur
Yes.
episode was so significant to our
Oh my
podcast.
God, yeah.
We mention it so much.
Not
And it's
lemurs, lermans.
Yes,
It's totally different.
Fucking Star Wars names. Oh my gosh.
But yeah.
Does Dark Disciple, Charles asks, does Dark Disciple count? Because Obi-Wan telling off the councils a personal top 10 TC scenes for me. Well, no, because it
Star
didn't
Wars
get made.
era, but it's not in the
They didn't
show.
get made. But I will say Night Sisters arc favorite.
That spoke to my Hot Topic heart.
Yeah.
Mother Talzin is like one of the best characters in Clone Wars. I love her so much. So any excuse to to see her is good. I remember when Steph and I got to the Jar Jar Binks fucks episode or arc. I completely forgot in the second episode she shows up, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's Jar Jar Binks and Mother Talzin in the same episode." I was insufferable.
Yes.
Well, I always forget that happens until someone mentions it.
Yeah.
Why? Wow. Yeah.
So I think my favorite arc, because I love to hate it, because I love so much about it. I only love it in retrospect. I hate to be in it. Is Umbara.
Yes.
I love that story.
Yes.
I love the clones. I love the clones being on their own and not having a Jedi general to be overshadowed by and subservient to, and seeing them being brilliant, especially Hard Case and Fives and all of them. So I love the clones. And yeah, horrible things happen to them. And yes, we hate Pongkrell. Fuck Pongkrell. And Chris hates that arc.
I don't like it. No.
Fire and
Really?
Passion of a Thousand Hells, he hates it. I love it.
I think it's hard to watch.
I think. Well, okay. Andy, you've seen Andor, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. I think when Star Wars tries to go before Andor, when Star Wars tries to go serious, that's where it starts to really fall apart for me. For me, there were way too many plot holes I couldn't ignore anymore because they were trying to tell this very serious war story. By the way, there's 6 hours of podcasts where we argue and talk about this, so I'm just giving you a summary. But I couldn't get past some of the plot holes. They're trying to tell me this very serious war story, and I love me some war stories. But I couldn't. I had too many hang-ups. I couldn't focus on the story, and I just didn't enjoy it. I do think Pongkrell did some really cool shit with the lightsaber, and I could listen to D. Bradley Baker all day long in my ears, but that's about all I can say.
It's the arc that gave us Rex saying "on your knees."
I
Okay.
know.
That's peak Clone Wars for me. That's some good stuff. Also, I love the Voyage of Temptation arc, where we meet Satine,
Yes.
and we get the whole Obi-Wan Satine, the Obatine of it all, and then Anakin Skywalker punctuates it all with some casual murder, because
As
of
always.
who he is as a person. It's good stuff. I just, it would be easier for me to say which ones I don't like, which arcs in Clone Wars I don't love.
Yeah.
That's the next question.
Hey,
Yeah, hey. I'm going to be pretty basic, but I still think it's really cool. I love the Siege of Mandalore arc. I really do. The show ends perfectly. I very rarely see a show end very well, and I'm mostly sad that it's over, and that kind of keeps me from really enjoying the end. But Clone Wars ended perfectly, and I was ready to see it go. I've been traumatized enough by Filoni. And I remember the first time seeing it, I'm like, well, at least Filoni's not going to traumatize me anymore. Little did I know. He kept getting worse.
never again. No, nothing else is going to happen. Shut up.
Yeah, but the Siege of Mandalore arc is just so good. Ahsoka became one of my favorite Star Wars characters. Maul was doing his sexy
Oh my
Maul
God.
thing, and Rex had some moments there too.
Okay, so Maul. We're going to sidebar into Maul real quick. Andy,
Oh yeah.
your experience with Maul was Phantom Menace and then Clone Wars. So
Yeah.
you didn't have, like I had, years of him being just a cool looking guy who said nothing and being
That's
nothing.
true. That's
Yeah.
true.
So how was that? What my whole perception of Maul is colored by that. So what are your thoughts on Maul?
I don't know. My thing is in Clone Wars, we meet Savage Opress before we meet
Mhm.
Maul, and I immediately connected to Savage Opress.
Savage Opress.
So
Me too.
So when it ended up being that
Oh.
he wasn't that pivotal character that we meet during that time, that it actually is Maul who is the important one, I was kind of like, oh, okay, it's fine. And the spider legs were cool, and I was into it. I'm into crazy. I had a
Mhm.
lot of fun, But like at the end of the day, I don't feel the love for him that I still feel for Savage Press.
Nice.
That's fair.
Well,
I mean
yeah.
that.
You have exquisite taste.
Thank
You
you.
do.
I think so too, to be honest.
We have our damn it Doug moment with the what about George Lucas's favorite arc, the Droid Squad arc? No comment. In case y'all like it.
Yeah, that's my least favorite too.
So two good things came out of that arc. One, we got Gregor.
True.
Yes.
Goddamn delight, I love Gregor. And two,
Weird before it was cool.
nobody loves Colonel Meeber Gascon more than Stephen Stanton, who does his voice.
That's true.
I follow Stephen Stanton on Twitter. 10 out of 10 do recommend. He loves that little fucking weird ass lumpy turd of a character. He loves him. And because he loves him, I have to give Colonel Meeber Gascon a pass because Stephen Stanton is working it. Okay, he's flinging himself into that role, just loving it. He can't save it. He can't. He's trying. He can't save it. But he loves that, and he's also Colonel Meeber Gascon and Moralo Evol, same guy.
Oh.
So square that rectangle for you.
If you go on YouTube and just do a search for Morello Evol, you'll find a couple years ago Stephen Stanton did a bunch of like random commercial spots and read bedtime stories in Morello Evol's voice and character.
Yes.
It is really funny. Yeah.
Can you imagine?
No,
like
I can't.
half drunk Christopher Walken reading you Christmas bedtime stories. Essentially,
Pretty much.
That's Morello Evol. He sounds like Christopher Walken's a little drunk.
That's true. It's true. Yeah. So, well, speaking of which, I hear D Squad is a least favorite arc for somebody. What are your other least favorite arcs or episodes in Clone Wars, and why?
Baron Papadopoulos.
Baron Papadopoulos.
Kissing George Lucas's ass for like 2 or 3 episodes, however long it was. Arc. That one. Hated it.
But Steph, he's in a movie. How can he be that bad?
And we got Chuchi and Ahsoka crushing on each other.
Yeah, for sure.
Were they in that arc?
Yeah, they were in that episode. It was one episode,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, Chuchi was there.
Oh, we had 2 episodes on that.
Any episode with Senator Chuchi in it is like a good episode in my book.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah.
One of my faves.
I love her and her cotton candy hair.
Yes.
She's
I'm
so
trying
pretty.
to think of like what's something the arc right after Umbara is the one where they're underwater, and I like it because Kit Fisto's in it, but I didn't like that arc.
No, you didn't like the proxy war under the sea?
It was such a tonal shift from Umbara that I was
No,
like,
wait.
what?
The one after Umbara was the slaves arc.
Is it really?
The Water War arc was at the very beginning of the season. Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
I thought Water War was after Umbara.
No, it was definitely before. It was definitely the first episodes of the season because right after that you get Shadow Warrior.
Yes, Shadow Warrior. Oh my gosh.
It's the one
I
where
don't remember
Captain
that one.
Hargles dies and
Yeah.
like Anakin and Grievous are both taken by the other side, but they're both unconscious and they have to trade.
They don't see each other.
It's so stupid.
The lengths they had to go to.
But no, yeah, I mean like also Water War. You don't like it, Andy. Sorry.
I don't like it. I feel like Anakin kind of looked like Buzz Lightyear in his little water suit. And it took me out of it. I could not. I couldn't get past it.
Oh, fuck him and fuck him. He can look like Buzz Lightyear all day. Fuck that.
Wow, I can never watch those episodes again. Thanks, Andy.
Yeah.
When Padme's life was
cursed.
saved by Gungan's saliva.
Yeah, gross.
That's a moment.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I don't like Umbara, I actually have to agree with Doug. I hate the Clovis arc.
Yeah.
They're
uncomfortable on a meta level to
Yeah.
watch. Like, straight out of the Star Wars.
and I have to be like, Padme, what are you doing, girl? Get away. Run.
Right? And we talk about this a lot in our coverage of Clone Wars on the podcast, is how all arcs in Clone Wars have to bend towards Revenge of the Sith.
Yes.
They have to bend towards that and towards Anakin being the kind of guy who would, force choke his pregnant wife, and for Padme being the kind of girl who would run straight into that without even thinking about it. So they have to like start whittling away at the heroic and intelligent characterizations of these characters that they did in the early seasons. They have to start chipping away at it so they can cram it into the little shallow ass box that George Lucas created for them.
Yeah, I just wish, in my mind, I think Padme and Senator Chuchi really should have just kissed and been together.
You're not wrong.
And then Star Wars would be over. That's it.
That's true.
Are you aware, Andy, because you don't interact with the fandom at all, right?
Yeah, I can't.
Of how the fandom, to the point of it having its own tags on AO3, ships Senator Chuchi with Commander Fox.
Oh, I think that we talked about this on the podcast. I remember someone sending me. I think Wyatt sent me fan art of Senator Chuchi, and I don't know. I don't know why.
The ship is called Foxio because Rio Chuchi.
I guess.
I don't know why either, other than he's
why.
the only named clone who's on Coruscant all the time, and so it's the one that she would have access to. But also, we hate him. So there's only two clones I don't like, and he's one of them. The other one's Dogma.
Who's the other?
I was about to say Dogma. Yeah. Oh, Dogma, rest in peace. Oh well.
Peace.
I think. I don't know. We don't actually see him die, do we? No. Okay.
I mean, it's a safe bet. He's dead.
What if he comes back as a clone assassin from Bad Batch?
Ooh.
That would be fucked up. But yeah, anyway.
So we'd know him.
For the record, because somebody said they don't like the episode where R2-D2 and C-3PO have to go get fruit for the cake. I love that episode.
I fucking love that episode. Where R2's like, fuck off, 3PO, I'm going to go have a spa day.
See, told you. But that's the thing. They go to a spa day, and there's definitely an implication that there's like a sex pleasure bot there, which is like totally awesome.
Yeah, when the Betty bot is asking like if you want full service, hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
I'm like, yes.
Yeah. Like,
absolutely.
Hey, yo.
I got a Groupon.
Groupon. You're so 40.
Okay. Anyway, okay, y'all. So, what are your favorite characters that aren't Obi-Wan Kenobi or Anakin Skywalker?
I really feel like we have to put this in categories like heroes or villains, because if you ask me,
you can have multiple. You can have more than one.
Yeah.
Asajj Ventress.
Yes.
Hands down, Ventress is my favorite character of all time in Star Wars.
Have you read Dark Disciple?
Yeah, I read it.
We had a whole episode of it with guest starring the asshole from Gold Squadron Gaze.
Yeah. I have actually re-listened to that episode multiple times because I'm just like, I just like hearing myself talk about Dark Disciple.
Look, we all do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all do that.
As an aside, I would really love it if Disney could make a mini movie and just do Dark Disciple. Like, I would, even though it would destroy me and break my heart.
Shut up and take my money.
Yeah, take my money. That would be a dream come true. And also, just any excuse to see more Asajj, Ventress, and Dooku. So, I do miss that prick. As much as I hate to admit it, I do miss Dooku.
Oh, yeah. No, he was fantastic. He had flair. He had style.
Yeah. And he had so many good moments in Dark Disciple. Oh, I would kill to see that.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. I think if I were to categorize hero, villain, whatnot, Hondo Ohnaka. I love him so much.
He's neither hero or villain.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's his own man.
Hondo's in the Hondo category.
Mm-hmm.
I have to go Asajj Ventress for the villain, technically villain. For the hero though, I don't know. I would have to say Padme. I think or Rex, but like Padme was so cool in the Clone Wars, and again, it was just so jarring to go to Revenge of the Sith and like watch that. I mean, don't get me wrong, she's a great actress and every actor, but all that stuff, but like just watching the portrayal of Padme in Revenge of the Sith is just so jarring. Like, it made me want to go back to Clone Wars immediately and just hold on to that Padme. And I'm so disappointed now with the prequel movies in general, just because knowing the backstory behind all that, it makes it very irritating to watch sometimes.
Yeah, legit.
Yeah.
So I have to say, based on the way my heart went pity pat, in reactions, I would have to say Ahsoka. Ahsoka's my girl. She's
This is my cat, Ahsoka.
Aww.
yeah, my ginger tabby heard that people might want to see her, and so she's refusing to come in here. But no, Ahsoka's like, because she, and I do acknowledge on a meta level, part of the reason why she is as amazing as she is she never had to arc towards a George Lucas story. She was untethered from all of that. In fact, she had to not be involved.
Yeah.
Because she's not in a movie. So she had so much more freedom, and they had so much more they could do with her, that they were able to just, and watching her grow from like the little kid in the tube top on Christophsis'
Oh my god.
to the badass, just ship surfing all the way down to the surface of Mandalore. God, I just fucking love her. Love her.
Yeah.
So thank you, Clone Wars, for giving us Ahsoka. Goddamn. Love it.
We got somebody giving props for being tied to an arc with the chains to Geo is so amazing. That's true. We had somebody give props to Yoda as a hero and Cad Bane for the villain. Cad fucking Bane.
He's cool.
One of my favorite T-shirts is a face of Cad Bane, a guy who does like custom art, like was selling T-shirts, and it has a beautiful Cad Bane T-shirt. So I buy it, and every time I go to Disneyland, I can tell who the super cool people are because they'll look at me and go, "That's motherfucking Cad Bane." I was doing one of my solo Disneyland trips and went to Batu and was wearing the Cad Bane T-shirt, and I went to the cantina, and the person at the front looked at the T-shirt and says, "I can't let you in." And I was like, "Wait, what? I have a reservation." Everything was like, "Sorry, I can't let you in. That guy owes us like 10,000 credits, and he killed somebody here." And I was like, "Oh, right, you're in character." No, but really, I have a reservation. Let me in.
Thanks for the immersion. Let me the fuck in.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, let me in. No, really. Oh, Charles says my favorite character is Admiral Trench. I live a lonely life. I love Admiral Trench. I love making fun of him.
He's fun.
I mean, you know, I can't meet you there, Charles. I try, but you know, you do you.
Yeah, you can pop off.
Yeah, I love that for your journey.
Yes, for your growth.
That's good.
That was my favorite surprise of season 7 was seeing Admiral Trench. I was like, didn't he die? Didn't he get blown up? They had to go back to the Christophsis
You know
episodes.
how hard it is to kill a spider?
Apparently.
Yeah. With fire.
I do. Right.
It was still an explosion, and Star Wars characters can survive explosions.
Yeah.
No body, no death.
Somehow
Unless you manage to destroy the entire planet while they're on it.
Somehow Admiral Trench returned. Calvin, what was your characters?
Yeah. I mean, like, I did name my cat after Ahsoka, so like Ahsoka, but
She might be up there. Yeah.
also I really want to give a special shout out to Professor Huang from the Gathering arc. I love him. I was watching that arc last night because of reasons. And,
reasons.
I mean, David Tennant won that Emmy for that voice for that role, and he's amazing. And
It's pretty exquisite.
yeah, it's good. It's good. And also, favorite villain. I love the son
Yeah.
from Mortis. Yeah,
Nice.
he's cool.
Yeah.
He's like, he's there and then he's gone.
And he's Sam Witwer.
I love the Mortis arc, guys.
I love them.
Oh, I love it
Yeah.
too.
Horse arc is pretty dope.
Yeah.
And Sam Witwer did that character before Maul because that happens
Right.
before Maul shows back up. So, yeah, I kind of feel like that was the audition for Sam Witwer. So it's kind of it's so cool how Sam Witwer is now like he has to play Maul no matter what. I was blown away that they did him. He did the voice of Maul in a movie.
You better watch it. You better watch yourself.
I know. I love him so much.
Wait, Andy has seen Solo.
Okay, so he was
Okay.
yeah. I was like, when did I was thinking in real time? When does Solo fall in the timeline? I don't know anymore. Oh, I'm gonna default to discretion. I don't know.
No.
Wyatt said he will be joining us soon.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'll keep an eye out when he joins.
Yeah.
I can add him.
So, Calvin, you've heard the story, right? About Sam Witwer, the first day he was
like
recording.
being nerdy about Shmi, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so good, y'all. If you haven't heard it,
Yeah.
you just Google it. Look it up on the YouTube. Sam Witwer out nerding.
I mean,
Dave
like
Filoni.
Andy can't look it up, so if you want to tell it real quick.
I can't look it up.
Well, let me tell you. So they're recording, right? This is Sam Witwer's like first time in this booth with people who have been recording together for years. So no pressure, right? You're definitely the new guy. And and they're doing the scene where Anakin's talking to Shmi.
Yeah.
And he's like, I wanted you, I have a wife. I want you to meet her. And they record that take, and Dave Filoni's like, okay, cool, let's move on. And Sam Witwer's like, and every head to him, because he's the new guy, and he's raising his hand. What are you talking about? And he's like, you have to do that again. That can't be the line. And so Dave Filoni's like, oh, do explain to me why that can't be the line. And he's like, Padme already met Shmi on Tatooine back in episode 1, The Phantom Menace. So she does know her. And Dave Filoni just goes, hat. Hides his face. And Ashley Eckstein turns to Sam Witwer and goes, I've never seen anyone out-nerd Dave Filoni before. Because of course he knew. He was supposed to have known. Of course he knew. Oh, hi.
Hey, Wyatt.
But yeah, so on his first day recording with Clone Wars, he had to correct the script because he was nerdier than the guy who wrote it. Awesome.
I love that for him.
It's good stuff.
I love it. We're joined by Wyatt from First Steps. Welcome. Nice to see you.
Hello. Finally got off work talking into a microphone all day, so I can come talking to a microphone some more.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I am kind of jealous because I wish I could do that more often, but I can't. Instead, I'd have to talk to customers who I love. I love my customers. Anyway. Yeah. Wyatt, we were just talking about, we're talking shit about Sam Witwer right now, but we were talking about some of our favorite characters from Clone Wars that aren't Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker. Do you have any particular favorites?
I was always let me think a little bit. I was always a fan of Senator Chuchi when she showed up, not to steal Andy's thunder, but I always liked her episodes. I was a big fan of Echo. It was a running thing, and I know this is probably the experience of basically everyone who watched the show, but my favorite clones always died, and Echo made it the longest in the early era of Clone Wars before his death in season 3.
Right, because he's with the Domino Squad.
Yep.
All the way through. Yep. And how long did it take you guys to realize they were called Domino Squad because they felt like dominoes?
God damn it.
Well, that's today. That's today for me.
I
That's right now.
I mentioned it to torture you on old episodes, definitely, Andy.
Really?
But,
oh. Well,
I
maybe
think it was
just so traumatized I've blocked it out.
I think it was when Echo died, and I can't remember if I noticed it myself or whether I saw at this point probably forum posts about it. But I remember the dominoes falling being a big thing.
Yes,
The last domino
I
falls.
do remember that. I do remember that.
So sad.
So sad.
That's awesome.
So there is a character that I think needs to be mentioned, and it's just like when we talk about like overall favorite Star Wars characters, I never remember to mention one particular character. No, you've met her, Leia. Yeah, you met baby Leia. I never remember to mention her because she's top tier always. Like she wins over everyone all the time. So when we talk about favorite Clone Wars characters, I never remember to mention Rex because he's at the top of the list. Obviously,
yeah.
I don't need to mention him because that is understood. Captain Rex is my
think that's fair.
favorite. I'm so down bad for him. So bad.
When I was a kid, I always preferred Commander Cody for completely shallow reasons. I think I just thought his armor was cooler.
That's it.
I feel like you could do an entire like astrological pantheon based on people's favorite clones. Like, oh, you're a Cody. Okay. That's so much about your personality now because you like Cody.
I did wish we got more Cody and Rex buddy cop episodes.
Yeah.
I thought that was a
They're
good
so great when they teamed
early
up.
dynamic, and then it sort of fell by the wayside.
Yeah.
I feel like
It's not too late.
they vent a lot about their Jedi generals. They're like, do you want what fucking Anakin made me do today? Oh, it's not what Obi-Wan made me do, blah, blah, blah. And they have to... And then they're both like, yeah, no, your master's worse.
Yeah, no, yours is so much worse. And Rex is like, I never have to do paperwork. We don't do paperwork at all.
Which
We
is
never
problematic.
file a report.
We commit war crimes.
Yeah.
So
And Cody's like, I know because I do your paperwork.
He makes them do the paperwork. Doug asked a question for everybody. Have you all played The Force Unleashed, which is, as I've heard it, Charles's favorite video game with his
I've
favorite
helped my
character?
kids get past certain parts of the game.
Oh, okay.
I have
I've never
tried to play it, but I got stuck on the second boss, so I stopped.
I have never. I'm not
I'll
really
stand
a
good
gamer.
age,
Yeah, I have vague memories of that game because that game's over 10 years old now, I think, at this point. I know it's not
That makes
canon, but that was Sam Witwer's, for me, my first introduction to Sam Witwer doing Star Wars. And from time to time, he'll actually Twitch stream that game and break out into his Maul voice, and I'm here for that.
Oh wow!
I thought Twitch had a no porn policy. What's up with that?
And I know that the girl who plays the Imperial like pilot that you're with in Force Unleashed would go on to also voice the daughter in the Mortis arc. So like,
Oh, I didn't know
So
that.
that was a reunion.
yeah.
I'm usually the guy with the voice actor fun facts. That I didn't know that.
Oh wow!
I am shocked. I didn't know that. Steph, why didn't you
I know
tell me that?
something you don't.
That's why.
That's why. Okay, fuck you. That's why. Next question: how important are the clones to the overall Star Wars story? We have to be careful with this one, but
Yeah.
mainly the Clone Wars.
Well, their name is on the war,
Oh.
so
for me,
Yeah.
the clones are like the most important thing. Like they're the thing that I love and are so integral to my Star Wars experience. And even when we watch things like Andor that don't include really a lot of clone stuff, I'm still thinking about them. And I'm like, I wonder what's going on. I wonder how
Yeah.
this event in Andor is affecting the clones.
Yeah.
So,
They do not miss on their clone references.
yeah.
Thematically, what Clone Wars did for the clones story that the old EU Legends universe didn't has informed so much of the current ethos and content of Star Wars. Like it's what they did starting from season 1 of Clone Wars is
Oh, I lied. She was Maris Brood. Sorry, not Juno Eclipse. Maris Brood, different character. Go on.
So what happens when you read the comments, dude?
but like it's just so foundational now that like for me in terms of what the overall story, again being careful for Andy, but Bad Batch is really showing us how much like the clones really denote this certain era of Star Wars storytelling, and the transition to the Empire is as much a transition away from the clones as it is anything else. So because the clones did, even being they're so humanized by the Clone Wars and they're such human characters, they don't fit in the dehumanizing realm of the Empire.
I remember being a original trilogy kid born in the 80s and growing up with this idea that there was a thing called a Clone War and not knowing what that meant. And I wouldn't find out about it until, almost 20 years later we get Attack of the Clones. And be kind of I was underwhelmed initially with Attack of the Clones and what the clones were actually and how that would work. And it wasn't until the show came out that I finally got it. I managed to not read very many of the Legends novels that included clone stuff, so I don't have that context. But I immediately fell in love with Rex. I love Cody. I love all of them, except Dogma. So I feel like they are like the key character of the prequel era of Star Wars, and they are now the basis for my anxiety because Bad Batch is a thing, and I am scared every single episode that something bad's going to happen. So good job to Filoni for making me care about the clones. I never ever would have thought in like the 90s that I would have cared.
Right. The thing about the clones for me, I love the clones. They're my favorite part of Star Wars. I love the clones. The thing about the clones is they represent like the not the original sin, but like the final sin for the Jedi Order. Because it's one thing to discover a ready-made army of indentured servants who exist only to do this, and it's quite another to go, okay, well, we're going to use those and we're going to throw them into this meat grinder of a war, and then just every now and then we might wax poetically and feel bad about it, maybe a little bit, but that was the Jedi being complicit in the use and the enslavement, really, of the clone troopers. There's no coming back from that. And there was nothing else. I really can't think of any other narrative device, any other story. And this is Filoni and Clone Wars that did this, because it wasn't really addressed in the prequel movies at all. I can't think of anything else that could tarnish the sort of shining hero on the hill story of the Jedi that we had, other than this, other than how dirty their souls got using these clones in this war. So that's just, something had to do it. Something had to bring the Jedi down, and it wasn't just going to be some dark side. Something had to be the living, breathing, bleeding, dying representation of the corrosion of the Jedi Order, and that was them.
Well, and on the flip side of that too, I actually, talking about Bad Batch and the fear for the clones that we all fear, I do think that we're shown here that the even though using the clones in that way was wrong, but it was the exposure to the Jedi that I think really allowed the clones to think beyond their programming and beyond what they were indoctrinated to do by the Kaminoans, by their military training, that I think will end up. It's just this tragic story of what it shouldn't have ever happened, but it also might be the one thing that saves a lot of them.
Yeah, right. Like the dying gasp of the Jedi Order, of the goodness that was in the Jedi Order, is the thing that will save whomever of the clones survive.
Yep. It's like Ahsoka in the Clone Wars finale trying to save them as they try to kill her.
Obi-Wan's still giving money to the veteran clone and Obi-Wan Kenobi Part 2.
Right. And
so
and the look on
sad.
the look on Obi-Wan's face when he recognizes not only is that a clone, that's a clone in 501st armor. And there's like a whole journey on his face of, okay, is he going to recognize me? Because that's really complicated right now. He needs to not, oh no, I look like a bum. I look like a boxcar hobo. This is fine. Have some money. I feel really bad. He walks off. But yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And to have Tamara Morrison for that, cool. Go ahead and carve my heart out.
That serve it on a platter. I have to believe that everybody's gonna have a happy ending at this point, because I almost break down into tears just thinking about the clones. I know.
Star Wars?
No, I don't know a Star Wars. All right, y'all. So last question, kind of a complicated one though. Is there a storyline that you wish Clone Wars did but didn't have time to do? And I'm not going to count any of the books and comic books and anything like that.
Yeah.
But anything that hasn't already been conceived of in other media.
Well, I wanted them to go to Kashyyyk really bad. There was an unfinished Clone Wars arc with the Bad Batch in it and Yoda, where they all went to Kashyyyk, and I really wish they had done that. But even if it wasn't about the Bad Batch, I just want more Kashyyyk, because Kashyyyk is fucking awesome.
It is. Except on Life Day. Maybe not on Life Day.
You know, there was a fun little bit in the Life Day comic, like a couple of years ago, where Nib, Asek, and Bur Yaga went to Kashyyyk for Life Day, and it was really sweet. So, you know.
So there was no VR porn in the living room or anything like that.
Nope. It was
Weirdly enough,
some fun. Life Day gathering shenanigans that
It was a wholesome
I'm trying
life
to think of
day,
a way.
Chris.
It was a wholesome life day. Hello, Andy. Have you seen the holiday special?
No.
No,
They haven't
that
gotten up
takes
to that point yet.
Well, don't.
Even though it
Don't.
doesn't count, it's still like way further forward
Yeah.
than we are in the
Yeah.
timeline.
It is canon. It is canon now.
years and
Okay,
years.
but
in the future.
Terrifying.
After you guys get
I have
into the
also
OG
never
trilogy,
seen it.
please watch it.
No, don't do it.
Please.
No, don't. No.
Oh, but like
No,
get
my mom
comfy.
has
It's
tried to subject
too-
me to it, but I have left the room. I was like, no, thank you.
It is
We've watched it
terrible.
twice. I have nothing can scare me now.
I do watch it once a year because always every holiday season somebody goes, wait, there's a Christmas holiday special. It's all on YouTube. So we did it for Dark Side Divas, and then I had a funny idea of what if we do it as a watch along. So we exposed one of our other friends to it, and she still isn't speaking to me because she's really upset with me that we made her do that. But
It's so funny too,
Oh,
because it
man.
used to be so hard to get your hands on a copy that it's just on YouTube now. It was this sort of mystical, like unholy grail of Star Wars, and now you can just watch it.
Yep. Yeah, George Lucas is quoted as saying if he had time and a hammer, he would smash every copy. But
He now has time. We've
it's
just
on
got to
the
get him the
internet
hammer.
now.
And the ability to erase things from the internet.
Yeah, because that's not a thing that exists. Man, arcs.
Calvin's mom's here.
Dragging
Getting
him.
clowned from the chat
Jeez.
by your own mother.
Oh,
Wait, that's your mom?
yeah.
Yeah.
I know that username.
yeah,
We love her.
I see
She's
her
great.
a lot.
yeah,
Hey, girl.
she's awesome.
How you doing?
Oh, yeah.
Now I know that connection exists.
Andy's actually back to the question. Andy's written a couple Clone Wars episodes of their own on the
I
podcast.
know. Like, there's
Oh,
so
yeah.
many podcast episodes where I'm like, "Hey guys, here's my pitch." But the problem is that I actually like don't know if it's been done because
Right.
it could have actually been done. So like I know that there's like the Book of Boba Fett. I know that there's Boba Fett stuff out there,
Mhm.
but I would have liked like more kid Boba Fett stuff.
Mhm.
I don't know what that touches on, but for me, I really liked whenever Kid Boba Fett showed. He's such a shitty little kid, and I just had all of this stuff. And I know one of the episodes that I was like pitching on the podcast was something about Boba. I can't even remember what it was.
It was out there. I can't remember
it was
who you shipped
crazy.
him with, but it was like
Yeah, it was
Calvin and I
weird.
pulled some incredible faces.
Oh,
It
I
was
gotta find that episode.
well, and the funny thing is too that was one of the unfinished arcs, like Calvin talked about with Kashyyyk. There was a Kid Boba arc that never got made. Well,
Yeah.
Teen Boba. So I've long wondered whether they will eventually finish these as sort of like TV movies, essentially.
I
But
desperately want the Boba Cad Bane one. I
That's
desperately-
okay,
Oh
that's
yeah.
I mean, you can watch the like half-formed animatic of it. It's on YouTube. It's voice acted. It's all
It's so
there.
good.
It's just-
and I mean,
but
like Cad Bane has
like,
the
it's proposed
has the head
animation.
thing, as if
it happened definitely.
yeah.
It's in there.
I would love to have seen an arc where you see Dooku having to deal more directly with Sidious and watching that abusive relationship a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because I think that I think that's a key dynamic that I think people don't see enough of from the Sith is just how completely wretched. I started reading the Vader comics, and no spoilers, but just in general, you see that on full display. And
Even in the Obi-Wan series, you could see it. That's
Yeah.
Andy's sort of real exposure to that relationship.
Oh yeah, you see at the end where I imagine Vader was probably ranting for hours about how he got fucked over by Obi-Wan Kenobi again, and Palpatine sitting there consuming it all. Then he was like, "Oh, you seem really upset." Yeah, no shit. He's been like talking at you for a while about how annoyed he is with Obi-Wan. You
It
know,
was just a freeze frame on his hollow. Palpatine was like brushing his teeth, checking his email. He wasn't listening.
and he suddenly hears Vader stop talking. He's like, "Shit!" He has to run to his desk, and it's like,
Gotta put the hood back on.
What I would have liked to have seen in Clone Wars, I would have liked to have seen more people catch on, and to the Palpatine of it all,
Yeah.
to the Sidious of it all, like because it's insane to me that he managed to pull this con off. But I say that, and anybody that you sign up for the plot of like catching on to it, it's fives. It's going to be fives every time. They're going to die every time. But we have some brilliant politicians in this story, and they don't catch on. They don't get a whiff of it. No Mon Mothma, no Bail
There was the-
Organa.
That's why Bale bails every time, because if he stayed to see things, he
Sure, that's
would figure it
He
out.
has to bail.
Well, and there was in the cut Padme stuff from Revenge of the Sith, there was the petition of
Right.
2000, I think it was, which was supposed to be this proto rebel gathering of Mon Mothma, Bail, and Padme, and some other senators. And I think that would have been a cool one to see, like a political thriller about that as we approached Revenge of the Sith. If there was more room in the final season, that would have been really cool.
But those scenes have to be cut because we can't have more than one woman talking in a scene at a time.
Absolutely not. Not in a George Lucas film. I mean,
they're great. My take has always been like, I don't know where they go in that movie because Revenge of the Sith is so weirdly paced. But I do wish they had, if they were gonna make a weirdly paced movie, they should have just left it in.
Yeah.
Give us a long movie. Like, make it
It's
like
already
fine.
so long. Like,
Just add more. We'd rather you add more than cut the shit we want out.
Well, and especially because like it's not studio interference. It was George Lucas had
It was
like
just George Lucas.
dictator power. He just decided that it didn't work.
he really cannot have more than one female character in his movie at a time.
Steph, are you
Literally.
implying that George Lucas may not have a positive
I'm not
perspective?
implying shit. I am saying he's a
saying.
raging sexist pig. And
Oh,
I'm
that's
just
awesome.
basing it on the evidence of our own eyeballs watching his creative pursuits.
Oh, that's amazing. Any other ideas for
I'm the last-
stories?
I didn't go yet, and
Yeah.
mine would sort of require Clone Wars to not be what it was. So I understand that it's sort of antithetical to the series to do this kind of thing. But I really wish we got some slower episodes with Ahsoka and the friends she's depicted as having. I think we were missing.
Yes.
If I had to
Ahsoka
pick,
and Barris?
if I had to pick one, there's a missing Ahsoka Barris episode. There has to
Totally.
be to get them from where they were at the end of when we had the great two-parter with them in season 2 to where we end up with them in season 5. Especially because I saw this on Twitter. A person I follow on Twitter at @jbandos realized that Bad Batch has wrapped up every remaining loose thread from the Clone Wars except Barriss Offee.
Yep.
Oh,
Like with the Zillow Beast, they've checked every dangling plot thread, and I have to think that eventually we're going to see more with her. I don't know in what form that will be, but I think it's going to make me want that more. But that was the problem for me with Ahsoka and her sort of menagerie of female friends was like Chuchi and her shared an episode, and Chuchi's like, "Oh, it's my good friend Ahsoka." They've never interacted before.
Really? Okay.
So like, I wanted them to show instead of tell on that, and I think it would have been good, especially early on, to get some Ahsoka stuff where she's away from Anakin. To set up how she is able to walk away later, that she doesn't just depend on him. And I think that's a relationship that is shown progressing really well in the show, especially in the way she interacts with Anakin in the finale. But I think it would have been nice to seed her independence earlier.
yeah.
I want to touch more on the Barriss stuff. I really so first of all, I was very like Barriss and Ahsoka kiss now. Like
Right.
I wanted them to be I really would have loved an episode with like those like young love, romance, awkward crush vibes in the background. I would have loved an episode like that. Then everything happens with Barriss. But then Ahsoka leaves the Jedi Order. We need another episode with Barriss. Another like Barriss does all of these things, and not that she was right in doing all these things, because like no, this is not the way to go about it. But she was right in that the Jedi Order they're not the good guys. And
Right.
once Ahsoka realized that, I think it would have been so awesome to have them reconnect. I don't think they would see eye to eye, but I do think there would be like an understanding there. And it would give us a little bit more depth to everything that happened with Barris. Just because, I don't know, that everything that happened with Barris left a bad taste in my mouth. Like, I'm still pretty
It should.
upset about it.
Yeah.
And I think I totally, and I get that they, like, tried to kind of give Ahsoka a girlfriend with Trace, and, like, that's totally valid. But, like, here we go, love triangle. Where was that? Where was that in
I'm
the
down with
end
that.
of Clone Wars? Where was that, Dave Filoni?
I'm gonna make a bold.
Hire me.
I'm gonna make a bold call on the record right now because Dave Filoni has clearly put Barriss Offee off limits until he tells that story. I'm gonna say Tales of the Jedi Season 2, 3 episodes about Barriss. One is our missing mid Clone Wars story with Ahsoka, and one shows what happened to her after the Empire rose. Because Ahsoka, that's a loose end for Ahsoka. She doesn't know what happened. They can encounter each other in that time. I'm gonna say, book it. When we get a trailer for that, that's gonna be one of those. And if I'm right, I will literally dance in the street.
Yeah. I will eat an
Okay.
entire loaf of bread. That
is not a challenge for me. I've actually done that before.
Well, we'll see. We'll have to. Season 2.
I've done that with garlic
I
bread.
think. Garlic bread. Garlic bread makes you fat. Oh, anyway.
This is the quality.
Rein it back
content.
in. This is not bread talk. Come on now.
This is the quality content you get with First Steps.
Bread.
I would love more Barriss content, but at Tales of the Jedi, who knows what that's going to be like. I think that's not coming out till next year, though. So, okay, y'all. So, as a last thing we like to do on this show, because we are a wholesome, family-friendly show, we like to play a game of Fuck, Marry, Kill.
I love that.
Yeah. For this, we're doing Clone Wars Villains-ish edition.
Okay.
All right. So, all right, everybody. Fuck, Marry, Kill. Asajj Ventress, Hondo Onaka, or Mother Talzin.
Now this has thrown me for a loop. That last one? Because you think it's obvious, but it's not. Because it's not. She seems like she's a freak. Like, she's kind of a baddie.
Well,
She's kind of a MILF.
Yeah.
I think she's also a free kill though, because she can't.
She's not
be
going to stay
killed.
dead. Exactly.
So, that is a low
Yeah, that was
stakes kill.
my
Not
thought is
kill
like,
her.
can you, like, if you vote kill, does it even count?
I mean, a kill is a kill, right? I mean, there's no death
Until
is not
she
the
comes
end for
back.
some of these
But
pursuits.
yeah,
Trying
but
to
that's-
steal an orb from Jar Jar
The
Binks.
fifth
That's
time's the charm. It's gotta
The
be.
danger, if you do kill her, she's gonna come back and she's going to want to have words about the killing her.
Right.
And maybe I don't want to have that conversation.
I don't want to kill Hondo though, but I feel like I gotta. I feel like it's.
Oh yeah.
It's like you gotta make the sacrifice. Because for me, obviously, Asajj and I are getting married. Obviously, there's no question. Move
Okay.
over.
Are you already mentally
Move
planning
over,
the
boss.
wedding? I think you
Yeah,
should.
I'm already
For
there.
months.
There you go.
Ever since
For
we
months, for years.
Did you see that? Did you see the Dark Disciple artwork of what she was wearing, like in the? I think it was the
For the ball?
ballroom.
Yes.
Yeah, I
yes,
sent it to
I've
them,
seen
I
that.
believe, during the
The full
recording of the
gambit.
podcast.
My God.
Good. Oh my gosh. But yeah, that's the
Yes.
thing is like I couldn't just like fuck Asajj because it's like I want the full gambit every night. But I feel like Hondo would be fun, but like I just can't. I have to know what it would be like to bed Mother Talzin. I have to know.
It would be
Well-
angular but magical.
It's the curiosity. So that's my.
Well, you can fuck Mother Talzin and tell the rest of us about it.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I'll read that fanfic.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I guess, I don't know.
Your mom is in the comments.
Yeah,
Carry
yeah.
on.
So
She's
yeah,
cool.
that's true. I like my mom. She's fun.
Your mom's pretty dope.
Yeah. I guess, I don't know. I mean, like, I would fuck Ventress. I mean, we're killing Mother Talzin, I guess, because I don't. I have too many thoughts about Ventress and Hondo to not because I want to experience I want to experience Ventress, but I don't. I think
She's
Ventress
an
might be a little too much for me. I mean, like,
It's valid. Yeah.
yeah, but and also I would love to like live a life adventuring with Hondo.
Oh, that's
Aww.
cute. I was gonna
Yeah.
say you're a coward. You're not on my level, but actually,
But
no.
no,
You turned it
Hondo's life
around.
is a
That's
life
pretty
of
good.
excitement
Good-
and
good
also
answer.
money. So like,
And
Yeah.
betrayal.
Fun.
Like there
You'd
would be
be
constant
fun.
betrayal.
I
but then
decided
make it
I would
better.
be
immediately.
betraying with Hondo. I would be the
Oh,
damsel.
he'd betray you.
I would find my way back.
Aww. That doesn't sound like a healthy
Like,
relationship at all,
Sai-
but
what's that girl's name? What's the like Sai
Size
Size noodles.
The most beautiful creature in the
Walk
Don't
out
be
galaxy.
of the
the
bar
size
with a
noodles.
man on each arm.
Size noodles. I love her.
We live in a universe where Star Wars is a universe where Sice Noodles can walk out of a bar with two men, and Lando Calrissian can be pansexual.
oh,
Yes.
Yeah,
Uh,
Green.
those two
beyond
have met.
pansexual. Yeah,
I believe those two have met with my entire heart.
No, they banged. Yeah.
they banged.
Yes.
Yeah. That was part of his cover when something happened.
To the bottom of her fluid sac.
The,
Oh
the
my God,
bottom
I
of my fluid sac.
There is a nearly identical joke to this in Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm pretty sure. Mine was I decided immediately I am marrying Hondo Anaka for his riches.
Wow.
Okay.
But also for the adventure. But I was like, ooh, marry rich.
For the money.
I agree. I don't think I could, Andy. I don't think I could handle the full gambit every night, and also I don't want to step on your toes.
yeah.
But I
good.
do have to vote fuck Ventress, and then I will take the consequences. I'm killing Mother Talzin. She's too freaky, too much.
All right.
You're a braver man than I, Andy.
Yeah. What can I say?
Wow.
My ginger tabby has joined the chat.
Hello,
Hello.
Flurkin. Hey, Boomer.
Okay. So I'm consequences be damned. I'm killing Mother Talzin. Okay. Because
Wow.
my wife will negotiate with her every time she arises from the dead and comes to me because I'm marrying Asajj Ventress.
Mm-hmm.
I'm marrying her.
Oh,
I'm gonna
God.
marry her so hard.
Wait, but in this, that means you've killed your mother-in-law.
Uh-huh. Yeah, she's
That's
fine.
amazing.
Your mom
okay.
went. "I
Andy,
know."
you have a
so
very
Shakespearean.
complicated relationship with that family.
Right. But Hondo Onaka is like tailor made to be the perfect side piece. Tell me he's not.
Wow.
He'll breeze into town. You go out on a couple of dates, maybe while your wife. Sorry,
Boomer.
No, you can see the
That
fur
air.
in the air.
everywhere. Like maybe while your wife is out, like doing one of her white hat bounty hunts that she's doing out there, and then you hang out with Hondo. And then he leaves town, your wife comes back into town, everything's fine. It would be a very above board, ethical, polyamorous situation. I'm just saying that Hondo and Ventress maybe never in the room at the same time.
No.
Maybe we learn the hard way that they can't stand each other.
I think
Did
that's
they ever
obvious that
meet?
they would not get along.
Yeah.
No, there's no chance
No,
in
they
hell.
notably didn't.
Okay.
Because like in this last episode of Clone Wars, when like Maul is trying to figure out where Obi-Wan is, like they go to the hut, or no, in like season 5 they go to the Hut Council, and they also are with the bounty hunters that Ventress is hanging out with for a couple of episodes.
Right.
Right.
So like they could nearly have crossed paths, and like Maul and Ventress could have met each other again in that moment. Wait, yeah, and Hondo's also randomly there, so almost.
I can't imagine.
Two ships
That would be a
passing
story I
in the
would love
night.
to see. All right. Well, my answer is different from everybody.
Ooh.
I would kill Hondo because that motherfucker owes me like 100,000 credits at this point.
You have Disney adult hangouts.
I know. I'm sorry, but I do love him. But I'll kill him. I would marry Mother Talzin. Give me mommy
Yes, you would.
Dathomir magic all day long. And if things get sour or get boring, I don't think she would mind me going off and doing other things and coming back later. She seems like she'd be pretty open to that.
You might
actually.
mind if you were going off and doing other things with her daughter.
Well, that's the thing. I don't think she would mind me fucking Asajj Ventress either. It's
I don't think she would care. She seems cool.
yeah.
She seems cool.
On the other hand, she's just a real dickhead, so but it still works in your favor.
Yeah.
She
She's
might
got
just
other things to
decide
worry
she's
about.
unhappy about it someday.
Well, that I can't control.
No,
And in
you
which
can't
case I'd
control
be-
anything about the situation.
Yeah, well, then I could just sell her out to the Empire, and that'll be that. Charles,
Full
you're a
of
dick,
spit.
by the way. But yeah, so that I haven't had a fuck, marry, kill where everybody has a slightly different answer. That's an occasion in and of itself. Well, y'all, thank you so much for talking to us about Clone Wars. I miss Clone Wars so much. Maybe someday in the future, when Steph and I runs out of content, we'll redo Clone Wars again.
Sorry, covering cat hair now.
Oh my! And this is what it's like recording.
She spite sheds. You know how cats can control when they shed or not? And I'll pick her up and she'll just
Boom.
and it's just everywhere.
Amazing. So Wyatt, Andy,
Little
Calvin,
ginger cat.
thank you all so much for joining. Where can people find you and all that stuff?
I believe Andy has our Instagram handle in their little
You
name.
can find us at First Steps Star Wars.
Nice.
I see
what you did there.
Instagram.
And then on Twitter, it's at First Steps SW.
Right.
Yeah, it's different because we couldn't get
Because
the same name.
Couldn't get it.
Yeah. We're also on TikTok at First Steps or something like that. I don't know. My mom's the one who
we
does our
don't.
TikTok.
I don't ever go on. We gotta get on TikTok more. We gotta
You will
make
It's a
be
TikTok.
cesspool.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Don't do
So
it.
I was on TikTok for a long time, and I was like, goodbye to this,
Yeah.
because it's a cesspool. But we gotta get back out there. I think for the podcast.
Yeah,
Maybe you specifically don't go anywhere near it
And then
Yeah.
you can find us
because
on pretty
you'll be
much
spoiled.
every
makes sense.
major platform as well for
Awesome.
the actual show.
Yeah, I'm serious, y'all. First Steps is like literally one of my favorite podcasts in the Star Wars space. So definitely check them out. They're one of the good ones. I can't recommend them enough. So
That's crazy. I can't believe people listen to the podcast.
It makes my heart warm.
What? Oh man.
Yeah, I feel the same way about our show. I'm like, why are people listening to these two dumb bitches thirsting over characters and talking shit to each other? But here we
Thirsting
are.
over pixels. Yeah.
Yeah,
Now you get
yeah.
to see
That is crazy.
scenes in my closet studio as well.
Yeah, glamorous.
Amazing.
I used to do my real adult job from this same setup.
That's amazing.
From inside the closet. Oh.
Inside the closet.
Yeah.
All right, Steph, do you want to outro us? Since it's what you do, you start the outro. That's your job.
Yeah. No, I know my job. I know what I'm doing.
We're some of us are moving. Some of us had a long day at work. We
Yeah,
understand.
you see all the nothing behind me?
That's crazy to me right now.
I'm moving. I'm getting the fuck out of Texas.
So weird.
Oh man.
Okay.
I wish you the best of luck in your move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Thank you. It's going to be a long month. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So hey everybody, thank you so much for watching. Because it's not listening, it's for using our eyeballs. Also, the ears are probably involved. You know what? This is off the rails. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. We appreciate you. If you would like to hang out with the Dark Side Divas-ness of it all, you can find us on all the social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok as at Dark Side Divas. And that's all the outro I do, bitch.
That's right.
Balls in your
Nice.
go.
Oh, we also have a Marvel podcast, Marvelous Divas, and you can follow us on social media at Marvelous Divas, except for the which one that the bitch stole or
It's Marvelous _ Divas.
on what, Facebook?
Okay, Marvelous _ Divas. It's all
Oh,
Marvelous
I
_
thought
Divas.
okay, I
Honey,
thought
you
one of them was,
went on Twitter for Marvelous Divas and you don't know?
no, fuck that. I'm dumb. Remember? Also, y'all, we have a swag store, redbubble.com/official divas, where you can buy this T-shirt, this exact one.
Hey.
Oh yeah.
Capitalism. Also, you already know this. We have a YouTube channel. If you haven't already, y'all subscribe. Put a thumbs up. It helps with the algorithm. I'm told. I don't know. And then most importantly, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/Divas Podcast for $5 a month. You get to see unedited video versions of Steph and I fucking up our podcast and making fun of each other some more. And you get to see all the shit Steph cuts out when I say something really inappropriate. And it's a lot. It's a lot.
Whole minutes. just chunks of the episode. Just whoop, nope. Put that in the sin bin. Jesus Christ.
But hey, I was good this time. But anyway, y'all, yeah, $5 a month, and we also, with that, you get access to the best Discord community in all the galaxy. So yeah, definitely check it out. And that's it, y'all. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you later.
Yay!
Okay, bye.
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 Flag!
It's not awkward.
May the force be with you.